Hello, libertines and librarians. My name is Skine, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where a spontaneous book club has broken out all around me. For reasons passing understanding. If you remember last time, we went through the Crystal Tower, the first phase of it anyway, and I had no idea what was going on, but it sure was pretty, and lots of things happened that I was not in control over whatsoever. And now we're back with Grahatia outside of the Crystal Tower to hear what the hell he wants us to do next. The Fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is time the assembly calls called to order. Rambrose will be presiding over the meeting, if you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. If you would please talk to the character standing next to me. Okay. What the hell was the voice I gave him? I remember it was something that was rough on my throat that I really shouldn't have given him, but...
Welcome back, Brick. I've just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I've added my own notes to Gratia's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments.
Cool. Do I need any of these for anything? Not really, but screw it, I'll take it. Tenacity, I guess.
In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze around the base of the spire.
Thank you for summarizing. So presumably this is once again that structural thing of this used to come out on a patch-by-patch basis, I guess, like where only the first parts of the raid were available, and then, like, because there's a huge, large amount of time between when a player would have tackled the parts of the quest, they re-summarize what you've done. Yeah, I guess I was right about that.
According to Briggs' account, the Labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, his report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by elegant technology.
Well, in short, our misgivings were well-founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of the Earth. It has somehow been reawoken. If it seems increasingly likely that the Tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we'll have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanism to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we'll first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done. If the perils of the labyrinth are any indication...
Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you?
That would be my pleasure.
Don't forget about us!
It's like you said, Chief, we founded the ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons. That means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end.
Lads, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores.
Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I'm to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire.
You'll do nothing of the sort, Grap. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation.
Is he pouting?
As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority.
Is he a brat? Oh my god.
Pray do not mistake my intent, Brick. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allagan Empire.
And with that encouraging thought in mind, it's time to bring this assembly to a close. Let's focus on the task at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned.
He's a gigantic bottom. No, he's a rather short, small bottom. That mask looks a little... Oh, such a terrible mess. Yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Allegan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. Why were you even wearing that thing? Oh, because we had to hide the reveal of he had a thing in his forehead. Wait, hang on. That name seems familiar. I feel like I've seen that name before, somewhere. Oh god, I gave him a completely different voice previously, didn't I? Shit, what the fuck kind of voice did I give Nero? Can't remember. Fuck it. I believe fates had conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. How the hell did he turn out to be hot? His armor was so lame. Oh well. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to cease it. The dream lives on, Sid. Do not disappoint me. Oh my, an expression on his face. Yeah, don't worry, I remember where I was being rhetorical. I remember where I saw him. He has a little bit of that John Constantine energy in him. Also, please clean your inventory. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You're doubtless eager to hear about progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say there's nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancient and every day bring new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set as much as a single foot inside it.
You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially? In a like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower the Allegans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we're at a loss.
It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Yeah, until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It'll require time that I'm loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand.
Oh, Aaron Jaeger, thank you very much for that subscription. Someone mysterious is talking. Perhaps we can be of assistance, they say.
And you are?
Good question. Who the hell are they people? Those people.
Oh, be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Oooooh, and my
Une and Doga? Fucking really? Those are... Oh, God. Which Final Fantasy are they from? Those are names of major characters in Final Fantasy, I want to say 3. It's Saya and Rakanya. Yeah, Final Fantasy 3. There's another reference to them if you played Final Fantasy 9. You can find their names on a couple of artifacts that you buy in the auction house. Oh god, a hype train started. How the hell did that happen? Oh hey, I think I've missed a few. Thank you, thank you, Ren, for that resubscription. Aaron Jaeger for that subscription, thank you. And Dalaisito subscribing with Prime. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Skyen suddenly recalling old Final Fantasy refs loudly and obviously is on my bingo card now. Yeah.
I am Oooooh, and my companion is called Doga.
But... Rin, what did you do? Did you just cheer butt? And Wooly, thank you for that subscription. TFW, we have a Rinningear in Riniana. Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I'm Une, and my companion is called Doga. We're scholars of the Allagan civilization sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor.
Una and Doga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing. But I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we've received nary a word of your coming. I'm sure you'll not take it amiss if we seem somewhat doubtful.
We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help.
That's maybe a little bit too much on the voice for him. Oh my god, he's activating Sharingan.
What is it, Grop?
It's nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Allagan eye as well. The sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allagans, yet I inherited from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there's aught you know, I implore you to tell me.
My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Allag. As your eye has placed upon you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth.
Well, it seems we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you?
Well, if that is your wish, then so be it. Yet, know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I'm able. If I trust there'll be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Una and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Circus Tower entrance.
I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision.
Brick, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Witch are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He'll brief you on the situation.
I shall join you, Brick. With Une and Doga's knowledge along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we'll finally see progress.
Still reading. That's wonderful.
Wow, if it isn't Brick, eager to enter Circus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt.
Well, calling me out there a little bit. You know, if I had different action verbs available to me in the game, I'd use them.
As I'm sure you already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Oh, excellent. It's been slow going, rather no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you just follow me, I'll take you to him.
Oh god, there's gonna be a lot of voices to keep track of here. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides.
Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Allag, sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation.
We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope we can be of some small assistance.
Like, those eyes are just like... Those eyes say vampires. Like, loudly. Like, it's like, just...
Would you please invite us in?
Well, if your tires ought to go by, your assistance has proven valuable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rise the Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. Their only way to get inside it is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox means, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a magic cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. Have you tried melon?
The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respectant. Elegant royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it's purely decorative.
You think to force it save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands.
Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord?
Right, so the gate depicts Allegan royalty, does it? And then those two show up, and the gate is like, hey, cool, it's time to open. And like they stretched out their hands, and there were hand symbols on the doors. I don't know, guys, this puzzle is too hard for me to solve right now. I don't think I have enough information.
I don't think any of us expected that to happen.
7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing heavens and gathering the light. Symbol of mankind's glory and might. Who speaks? Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I'm delighted to see. Is that going to be Nero just kind of waltzing in there? I guess so.
Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you've acquired.
He looks fucking ratty right now. Like, my dude, you need a shower and like 14 hours of sleep. Nero, you're still alive.
Garland. If I didn't know any better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Oh, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I'm no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose waits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea. I'm a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you.
After all the wrongs you've committed, do you think it's that gullible?
Oh, if you're suspicious of my intent, it's only my just asserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know. Starting with these two odd characters. As you're doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Alag's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals.
According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys.
You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty?
Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plainly, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims.
If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well.
Seven hells. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Oh, come, Garland. You know me better than to think I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? Chat is joking. But I do. There's definitely some hella bitter X vibes between these two. An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours. Or 13th Legion, rather. But it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Oh, it was 14th, right? The V is like Roman numerals. Fuck them. Oh, he's not standing around. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. Let's have a look at you. Yeah, I mean, dude, you seriously need, like, a shave and a shower. Okay, I'm gonna sit down now. But in terms of character design... Hello there, Hypatia. In terms of character design, like, there is an interesting little thing going on here, because, like, he has this duster, right? Like, this, like, big overcoat with, like, a belt. And he's got, like, this scarf thing around his neck. And that all sort of contributes to giving him that sort of slightly disheveled wanderer kind of vibe. But then if you look underneath that, he's still wearing, like, a really fancy outfit, like, with the boots and the engravings and the way that the whole thing is, like, laid out. He still looks fancy. There's still, like, a lot of fancy gear underneath, but he has this thing put on, like, an overcoat, sort of covering a lot of it up. And then, like, with the face exposed and, like, him being kind of gaunt and a little bit, like, looking kind of ragged and disheveled. Like he's been through some tough times. Yeah, I know he's the one who gave me the starting quest, I know. It's like, yeah, it's a good little bit of character design, sort of communicating how his situation has changed. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Rambrose may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. Yes, it was. You said that it was specifically decided to lie so people wouldn't get freaked out. As you will have already gathered, we're not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones. Copies of people who once existed, given life through Allagan technology.
Well, there's rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, what it is you now seem to seek to do?
Answering your questions require that we revisit Allagan history. Pray bear with us.
The Allagan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allagan pride. Parents took their children here, that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire.
That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. The decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness.
Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Allac to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted but for a potent ruler, and none were more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect.
Oh, so he had like a philosophy of like the strong should rule, like the potent, powerful, mighty king, the great ruler should lead the world, and that'll restore the country to glory, like restoring a lost golden age for which we are now desperately nostalgic. Well, that sounds a little bit fashy, and it also sounds a lot like what our dear discount Darth Vader used to spout. Make Allag great again. Yeah, exactly. He said it just as I did, Jagliet.
The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Zand.
None other.
No, none other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga.
Historical texts mention the reign of two elegant emperors named Zanda. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same.
Aye, Sander returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. And true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he had been satisfied with that.
In his previous life, the Emperor decided to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zand turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Oh, wow, does he have some kind of plan about that? Oh, I can't tell.
Darkness. Again. Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness and the lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all.
Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zand is very much alive. Within Circus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires a prodigious amount of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment his shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it into the tower below. However,
A miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Zan's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the Earth. Its descent triggered the Seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Sand awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized.
That is a very Final Fantasy like a very NES Final Fantasy ass plot.
'Tis for no other purpose than to put an end to Sand's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Zand, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Brick Ulfam, we are confident that we can end Zand's dark ambition once and for all.
Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldesion among a host of other things. You were observing our investigations the whole time. So, what we do, Brick? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it.
You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan's dark empire's dark past laid to rest.
Well, it's been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Une and Doga, living, breathing Allagans.
Friends, we've known them for like 2 minutes.
And so, I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Brick, if you did for us with the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zand himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work, then.
You can see Sid and Nero having a bit of a discussion in the background there.
Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye's like yours. Does this mean? You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The elegant eye, you called it, but to us it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot explain well why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it is a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in time.
Heterochromia the Catboy. Let's hear what Grahatia has to say.
My apologies if you have given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there's been much for me to think on. But now's the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us.
They just stand there staring straight ahead.
Creepy. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zand himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength.
Oh no, yeah, I'll just go kill the immortal god emperor from 5,000 years ago. Sure. Hey, anyone want to go help me kill an ancient deity god? I think that's everyone. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's see, Circus Tower. Why? Am I meant to pronounce that as Circus, or is it meant to be circus? Because like, wait, Hypatia? Oh shit, Hypatia's there. Hi, Hypatia. Yeah, it kicks us out of the queue. I figured.
Let's try that again.
Are there any mechanics I should know about? Like any opportunities I get to like literally wipe the entire party that I should avoid? Just some insta-death ones. Okay. Should probably refamiliarize myself with my survive insta-death abilities then. Send the ball of lightning that's tethered to you to one of those vortex things. Huh. Ooh. Ooh. Soprano. Meaty soprano by the sound of it, but soprano nonetheless. Let's see. You have to go in and out of the force field. I'll just follow people. I'm in A this time. Oi, you! Oh, there, you big lug. Well, that was easy enough. One thing I do like about these, like, the sheer difference in fashion between all the people who are like, some people, like, having very serious fantasy outfits, and then some people just running around in bikinis and some are dresses, which I think is lovely. Unless it's split up, you should keep Defiance off. Okay, well, Defiance off. Oh, Lancershy, thank you for that resubscription. And Pastrifico, also. My hounds hunger for man flesh. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Oh, shit. That's... Oh, man. Oh, it has big titty as well. Okay, that's a cool character design. I like this. Shit, I wish I could get a better look at it. Like 5 heads and like the Taurus thing with the multiple arms, and then also the big titty. This feels like a very horny furry design that's sort of snug in there. That's cool. Oh my god, Staff of Elden Ring. So presumably I don't really need to deal with those things. I just need to not get killed by them and not get hit by their AoE. Okay. Scylla, huh? Oh yeah, like... Okay, I'm standing in ice. Is that ideal? I think it's not ideal. Okay, I guess I just wait for that to run out. Yeah, I don't seem to have any abilities I can use, so I'm just sitting here. Okay, okay, moving out of AoEs. But there's an interesting, like, there's an interesting split. Like, this is something I often feel like in terms of, like, when we're dealing with the character designs that have, like, really sexual characteristics. Like, you can at least use them for something interesting, right? Like, you can do something interesting, like, by contrasting, like, high sexuality with... like, with monstrousness or with, like sort of terrifying character traits. Someone with fire is supposed to thaw you while frozen. Oh, okay. It's like, well, like, at least there you, like, you use the, like, the big titty sex stuff to create a contrast, to create, like, a variety, to introduce, like, some tension, right? Like, that can be a good way to, like, use, like, to have your horny and eat it too, basically. Like, you... Oh, hey, okay. You're green and you're a dragon. You're also not so tough. Oh, hey, more clones. Yeah, I mostly play warrior because I figured it was one of the simpler classes to play. Like, I've seen the astrologers and what they're supposed to do, and I don't understand that even a little bit. Glacias Labolas. Not a very interesting design on this one, though. It's just kind of a big guy in armor. And then he, like, throws very basic punches. Oh. Those things. Are we meant to deal with those, or do we just keep hitting him? I guess since no one else is doing anything about them, the idea is we can just kind of tank through it. Yeah. That my defenses could be breached. Yeah, that's what happens. I don't know, maybe some of that stuff is useful for glamming. Why deal with mechanics when you can bum rush? Indeed. I like the music here, though. Like that soprano... I mean, I do wish they'd used a real person to sing it, but that soprano hovering over everything, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we've got a bunch of little guys, and we have to kill those to get the big guy to come down. Is that the idea here? You are definitely a dragon, which is red. I like the little thing about, like, this particular dragon model with, like, the glowing spines on the back. That's, like, a nice way to do it. But other than that, very standard dragon character. Oh, hello. It's just... It is kind of funny as, like these ancient guardians of the massive crystal tower, and it's like, it's just this fucking band of lunatics just run at them like, ah! Just kick them to shit. Oh, that's a Yoshitaka Amano-ass character right there. Oh, I love you? Oh my god. Holy shit, again, I wish I could spend some more time looking at you. But the way I recognize this instantly as some Yoshitaka Amano shit, that mixing of fabrics. Like, you see all those patterns? And like the stripes and the patterning and the embroidery and everything. That is such a Yoshitaka Amano character. Like, he's so obsessed with, like, those extreme, like, mixing of of like fabric patterns. That's such a huge part of like classic Final Fantasy character design that rarely came across really in the sprites because they couldn't. Like there wasn't... Like the sprites weren't really capable of rendering the full scope of like his detail. But it's a huge part of what informed the aesthetics of like the really old like boss sprite designs. Like you think of something like Kefka is a classic example of like that particular approach to fashion design as it relates to his characters. Why are we fighting enemies that are called Cum? I feel like maybe that was not... It's not a great choice of name. For... Trying very hard not to make the jokes. Just gotta beat the cum until it goes away. God, love this character design. Oh, there was an insta-kill of some kind. Not that it matters. Yeah, like, covered all up in the cloak. I need to find the, like, I can find some concept art for this guy. Hey, okay, well, that was fast. Hey, dude, you look like a Final Fantasy Emperor character.
You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail.
Oh, yeah, there's the Final Fantasy III music. Again, this is...
Absolute darkness draws nigh. Soon it will be unleashed and all shall return to nothingness.
Have you been talking to X-Death? It sounds like you've been talking to X-Death. Okay. Am I supposed to stand inside these zones, or do I just go slap him in the face? Okay, he's back on his throne. Everyone's kind of spreading out. I guess we just slap this thing until it dies. Was he calling down like a meteor or something? But yeah, again, another classic Amano thing. Is like all the lines and all the sort of the decorative patterning all across his chest. It's sort of the same approach he takes to fabrics, right? Like where he loves putting patterns. He loves putting decoration. He loves putting, like, ornamentation all over his character designs, which made him a nightmare to work with, like, in terms of, as a character designer for the, like, the early NES Final Fantasy games. Because, like, that shit is, like, impossible to put into a goddamn sprite on, like, 64 by 64 grid, right? But it is also part of what made early Final Fantasy character design so distinctive. And this is one of the things that's kind of been lost as Yoshitaka Amano has taken over character design duties, is like that sense of like just sheer... like sheer decorativism, like just sheer maximalism in terms of the way that he approaches character design. Well, Yoshitaka Amano is much more inspired by the, you know, classic anime. And he, like, loves, like, incorporating, like, street fashion, rather than Amano, who's, like, had sort of an 80s New Romantics approach to the way that he created a lot of the looks of his characters. Like, the sort of very, like, deeply inspired by high fantasy and, like, things like I think Mobius's art has had some part of an influence on him. Life is a circus. Of course it's a pun. Oh, absolutely put it on Discord. I'd love to see it. Put it in some of the Final Fantasy rooms and then tag me and I'll find it. That's Domp I'm replying to there. The tank set from the previous part of the tower in the labyrinth is based on the art for the Final Fantasy I Warrior of Light. Oh shit, well now I actually want it. Oh, an Onion Knight! Oh, no, I need that. I need the Onion Knight. I love Onion Knights. Onion Knights are adorable. The former English translator loves puns. Puns are good. You should have puns. Like, so much of Japanese media and humor is based around puns. As, okay, is he not dead?
A brick? Oh, you did it! You defeated Emperor Zand!
Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for, Break Ulfam. With Emperor Zand now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. Oh, hey, he's all armored up, and his armor is all burnished and kind of dirty and shitty, too. Nice. What you playing in now, Nero? Oh, in case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? Oh, Sunday. Okay. At any rate, you needn't mind me. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go and finish what you came to do.
There are two ways that we may seal off Circus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task.
That looks very X-Deathy to me, though. Like, that looks very Final Fantasy IV The Void to me.
The distortion? What is it? The power that Sunday sought to obtain comes from
The Void. Aha. Well, now.
the world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Xander entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Une and I believe we can annul it. By his blood, Sunday sealed his dark pact. By our blood shall it be undone. It is time.
Oh, thank you for that subscription, Surikiza.
Yes, Doga.
He's just like going around like, oh, wow, hey. Getting some weird readings, doing nothing suspicious whatsoever, don't mind me.
Finally, we may fulfill our purpose.
And Hexaran, thank you for that as well. Is he using like a Dragon Ball Scouter or whatever? Like, is he looking for Dragon Balls? Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment, I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the ultimate weapon compares to this. You're being real subtle there, Nero. What are you going on about? Yeah, you should just keep trying to seal it up, please. I'll kick his ass. Like, maybe we should subdue him? The covenant is everlasting. Oh, it's a Void Uzi. That was yonic. Like, that was very vertical slit. I should call her. God damn it, Rin.
And so Mericidia is brought into the fold. Soon, all the world shall be united under Allagan rule. And yet, with every dream that comes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid. An endless void, bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing.
Well, now, Captain Nihilist there. You should really read Nietzsche before you sort of start trying to quote him, because, like, that's not what he meant at all.
Harvest more power that the gate may be thrown full of...
Well, there's... Okay, right, yeah, nope, okay. It's not X-Death. It's Cloud of Dark. Of course it is, because we're doing Final Fantasy III. Of course it's fucking Cloud of Darkness. It's just that they reused the theme for Final Fantasy IV of the Void.
Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness.
That man has enormous tits, I'm just saying. Do we get to fight Cloud of Darkness? I'd love to do that. One-hit KO? Nice, dude.
Brick, pull yourself together. Oh, is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening?
Oh no, the Sharingan!
Ah, not now, damn it!
Nero, do you want to do something? No? Okay. There you are. Man, the cutscenes are getting much more ambitious.
Nero, were they part of your grand plan too?
Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Joga!
Oh, well.
Confounded. Without them, there is no way to master the darkness. That power is mine.
Are you about to do something stupid, Nero? Feel like it should be me doing it.
Nero! The covenant shall be honored.
to the void.
Well, I was completely fucking useless during all of that. just stood there like, oh no, my head hurts very slightly. I'm sorry, I can't help you guys. Damn it. The rift is gone. Now what are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without him, well, there's precious little we can do. Let's return to the Find and consult Rambros. Chat is getting ungovernable. Oh, hello, hi. Were you doing like a synchronized pose? Jesus, I have an honor guard all of a sudden. Right, probably should leave the part. Okay, I know I need to go continue. Ooh. Oh, okay, I thought it was like a shirtless thing underneath the coat, and I thought, holy shit, that's like hot. But no, just a nice tunic. That is kind of like, there is kind of a... That's pretty good, actually. Like, cause like the coat is very fancy, and like you get all the straps and shit, but like the general, like just the use of fabrics is really... It's really simple. It's pretty... Anyway, what was I doing? Aw, that's a cute outfit. The cool thing about this shit, like, another thing that's cool about, like, when the outfits are very simple is, like, you could cosplay this, right? Like, this is maybe a little bit more of a project to cosplay, but that, you could go to H&M. You could probably figure out something. It really kind of does suck a little bit that they don't, like, I feel like it should be possible, like, on the textures of clothes, like, to, like, include, like, a layered ring or something, like a metal ring that can sort of go around the tail. Like, same thing for, like, my poor Warrior of Light here. Like, the tail just kind of, like, pops out of the out of the ass, like, kind of clips through a lot of the armor. And it would be nice if they, like, had some kind... I mean, I'm sure it's very technically difficult and, like, not a thing that's easy to implement, but, like, I feel like it should be possible to do something to sort of ease the transition. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh. Glowing thing on the head. Oh, it's like asymmetrical. I like asymmetry, like when it's used in character. Like, for example, it's the same thing like with the... Oh, yeah, okay, hi. Same thing with, like, a headband that, like, goes across one eye. Like, asymmetry is, like, it always creates, like, a point of, like, because we naturally look for symmetry, right? And we naturally sort of try to dress with symmetry. Like, when you wear a t-shirt, like, you don't want one half of it, like, to have a longer sleeve or whatever, because that's sort of impractical. But in character design, asymmetry can be, like, a really clever, like, a really smart way to... Well, I didn't say anything bad about your fashion. Like, yes, your outfit is very symmetrical, but it's still nice. But in character design, asymmetry is, like, a great way to draw attention to something. Like, when you have a character where they have an eye patch over one eye or, like, this thing, like, that draws attention instantly, right? Like, it's the Kakashi thing, where you go, oh, hang on, do they have an injury? Is there something going on there? Like, it's sort of... Like, when you put down asymmetry, people sort of, like, instinctively look to it and, like, think and assign meaning to it. Like, it's very effective for storytelling. Which I don't know how, like, I don't know how much intentional storytelling is happening or whether it's just because it looks cool, but, like, it creates, like, that visual, it draws the eye. When most of an outfit is symmetrical, right? Like, which most of this is. Like, the cloak is symmetrical, the pants thing. But then that little one bit of asymmetry becomes, like, an eye catcher. Oh, okay, that axe is fucking cool. I just, like, it's my Dark Souls weakness, right? Like, I want the big chunkers. I want just the biggest fucking slab hunk of metal I could possibly find. And whip it around. Oh, I do like that. Like, that's really nice. Like, because, like, most of this outfit is really kind of butch, right? Like, it's sort of very masculine. And then, like, the earrings and the little flower... That's nice. Like, I like gender mixing shit. And this is the thing about, like, when I always get disappointed when some part of an outfit is, like, gender locked. Because that kind of sucks, right? It'd be nicer if you could just, like, mix and match and, like, create non-binary gender chaos with your characters. Like, alongside the option to be hyper-feminine alongside the option to be hypermasculine. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Like the back here? I like that. Crop tops are always nice, but I don't know if it's like intentional or accidental, but like you can see how this and that, like, it creates a little bit of a diamond shape. Like that's a nice way to do it. Oh, crystallized. I get distracted. No, I have to go. Stop distracting me. I have to play the game. They've been going through all the gender-locked gear lately and removing the gender locks. Good. I mean, I'm sure that requires a bunch of extra modeling, like, to make sure that it conforms to, like, the male body shapes or whatever. But that's the kind of work that I feel like... Like, that's one of the things that I really do admire about Final Fantasy XIV and its development team, is, like, it's not just focused solely on cranking out, like, expansions over and over again, which is sort of the thing that it at least from an outside perspective, World of Warcraft feels a little bit like that. Like, it's very sort of focused on just bringing up more content for people to play. And Final Fantasy XIV seems to have taken, like, an approach of, like, more, like, dealing with quality of life things. Like increasing the amount of self-expression that players can do, for example. Which I feel like is such a big deal for games like this. You should just bite the bullet in an arranged fashion show stream. An hour or 5 of looking... Yeah, I mean, at some point I really will. Like, I will. But I feel like I'm gonna do that once I clear Realm Reborn and I actually hit Heavensward. We'll do, like, a thing before I start, like, digging into Heavensward. By the way, I'm seeing those posture checks, Crymonger, and I am doing them, don't worry. I am standing up right now by my desk. Warcraft having an expansion launch with like 4 sets and 4 color schemes for all leveling dungeon rewards. Yeah, like that's very much my feeling around World of Warcraft, is that it's so focused on like just adding gameplay content. And I don't know, I don't know anyone personally. Like, I know they exist, but I don't know anyone personally who plays, like, World of Warcraft for the extremely, like, engaging high-level gameplay. Like, they play it to roleplay. They play it to explore a big, interesting fantasy world. They play it to self-express. Like, they play it for community. They play it for, like, hanging out with their friends and, like, just, like, dungeons and raids and shit. Like, that's kind of... They also play it for the story, obviously, but, like, it feels to me like what Final Fantasy XIV cottoned on to really well is that the glams are endgame. Like, that the ability to dress up and, like, create your own specific, like, this is the thing that pings right into my personal sensibilities kind of character, and play them is a huge deal. Like, transparency, my Swedish colleagues and friends have a great video about that, like, specifically about, like, discovering your self-identity through MMOs. Like, I know so many... Like, it's such a common story for, like, trans people or people who are gender non-conforming in some way, that, like, they sort of begin to discover that part of themselves through video games because they give them this opportunity to, I'll play a girl character. Like, why not? Like, yeah, I mean, just for, like, you know, girls are cute. I want to look at a girl and it's like, dress her up in some nice outfits and, like, and then, like, sort of they start to explore that part of, like, figuring out what they like about another gender expression, right? Like, about being as another person, like finding themselves through roleplay. And that's that really common story that I hear. And that's not just important for, like, people who have some sort of, like, trans... Like, that's important for cis people as well. Like, for dudes, especially for men, like, just the permission to explore fashion as a part of self-expression, that's, like... That's the kind of shit that gets you called gay in most other contexts by toxic masculinity, right? Like, oh, you care about fashion, gay. You care about, like, self-care, gay. You want clear skin and to wash your ass, gay. But, like, within the context of an MMO, it's like, oh, no, yeah, you wanna have the most badass armor? Yeah, that's cool, that's manly, whatever. Like, it sort of gives you this permission space where you can experiment with that kind of expression, right? And I feel like that's a much bigger part of what makes MMOs compelling than what Blizzard sort of seems to recognize in the way that they've developed it. But again, I don't play World of Warcraft, so I'm kind of talking out my ass from an outside perspective.
Anyway, all this happened within the tower. Gods preserve. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate, of this I'm certain. There exist myriads of kinds of void scent, and the more powerful the being, the larger the gate it must be to pass through.
Oh, so like if you're bigger, you need a bigger gate to get in? I wouldn't have intuited that, Mr. Rambrose, but thank you for clearing it up.
It would seem that Xandir sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into my world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void scent's capable of.
However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them?
I'll not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. Though void scent can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. Pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live.
Damn it, I feel so helpless. Gratia's about to come up with something.
No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga Anune.
Yeah, not Nero, though. Like, Nero, whatever. He can die.
We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are.
You better awaken that Sharingan real soon, Gratia.
As long as Sunday's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. It is our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass.
Rob, ever since meeting Uni and Doga, you've not been quite yourself. Tell me true. Is all well with your eye?
I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alag. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it.
I'm with Gra. However slim the odds, we must try to save Uni and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well. If only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. Can't leave him in the Phantom Zone. Oh well.
Yeah, the right of it. Though we've known them but briefly, Doga and Oni are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. Swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet, know that may be a while before we're ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray, rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less but in full strength.
We'll save him yet, Brick. Mark my words. I am on Spriggan, yes, over on the European data centers. I think it's Chaos on the European center. Right, okay. Well, that seems like a perfectly decent place to cut an episode. With Grahatia doing Sasuke holding his eye in pain things, and Sid quietly worried for his toxic ex-boyfriend. So, thank you all very much for watching a little bit more Final Fantasy XIV with me. If you want to watch it live with chat, who are shitposting with me over on the left there, that's twitch.tv/tbskyn. Come along, I try to stream, not regularly, but I do try to do it as much as I have time for. If you want to watch these episodes early, fully edited by my excellent editor Jane, before they actually come out, you can become a member of the channel, and that'll give you early access to the episodes. That's what becoming a member of the channel does. I also have a Patreon, a merchandise store, and a tip jar, and you can use those if you want to, but you don't have to. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another, and may the tides of history wash over us all.